daydreams are killing me. Feel like I'm losing my mind. I'm never feeling okay. Good days are so hard to find. Just help me numb all the pain. I'm only one step from dying. My angels keep it at bay.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and today, as promised, we got some E30 content to you. So how I picked it up, this vehicle, watch now. Here she is in her glory. Actually not that bad. Well, first impression. Everything seems to be moldy. Yeah, a bit of touch up there. But yeah, I like the wheels. Not sure if they're genuine. Made in England. Probably not. Pop the bonnet. Yeah, the 500 bhp one. This doesn't say up. Let's go from this side. Oh, typical rust. You alright?
Yeah, you?
By yourself?
I check your hand back on.
What are you saying?
Hey?
What are you saying? It's been parked over there?
Yeah.
For how long?
15 years?
15 years! Over there?
Well, there and somewhere else, yeah.
Crazy.
And it's surprisingly not rotten, not as bad as it might have been, is it? Rotten wise.
Well, yeah, as far as I've seen, it's just this.
And the obvious place.
Behind the wheel arch at the back.
Yeah. Shot. Yeah. Come on.
I'll be making a little video on this journey.
Yeah, look.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
That side's alright. That seems to be. Oh, I don't know though.
My mate, well, he's got an E30. Well, I personally never owned the E30, but he said behind them wheel arches over there deep inside, that's the very common place.
Oh no, it's down there, this one's gone. But I'm surprised that the arches are good.
Yeah, I mean, first visual impression, it was like, oh, quite clean. Like, you know, like,
Then you look a bit closer.
Yeah.
It's not that bad though. I don't think it is. What do you think?
Well, have you seen what I recently bought?
Yeah.
That B12.
Yeah.
It looked alright, but then I started poking and
Yeah, don't poke.
don't poke, yeah, you know. But it's one of them things, like,
That door has been got smashed up and it's been redone and it's not the brilliance. You know what I mean? That door was folded in half and a body workman did it for me. I've had this car since it was only 3-year-old.
only 3-year-old.
Yeah. But it's got a little bit of sentimental value because my dad bought it and he's not here now, so I want to try and get it. I feel a bit guilty.
Damn.
Tell you a story, right?
Yeah, go on.
When my dad was 21, he got a ring and he gave it me and I lost it 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And I've been gutted about it ever since. Clearing out this boot yesterday, the very last thing in the boot was the ring my dad bought me all those years ago.
Crazy.
Very last thing. I was so chuffed. Better than car, that. Just sat there.
That's it. I got a ring, don't need a car.
Just sat there at bottom after all those years.
Oh, Jesus.
What do you think?
I don't think nothing, man. I mean, it'll need some work. One thing, yeah, good content. Obviously everything's doable, you know, but just obviously easiest way, I mean best way now is get it washed up, cleaned up, and see where it can start.
It.
You washed it? I was thinking that that's pretty clean for like 15-year-old sitting in that barn.
Yeah, it was covered in. I washed it down, yeah, the day before yesterday, and dragged it out. The tyres held air for about 2 minutes.
Oh, is it?
The tyres would be shot, weren't they? But oh, that one held air. That's the only one that held air.
Yeah, but stuff like that is quite like, you know, these E30 barn finds, it's quite rare now. Like, I mean, obviously you're not selling it, but what I'm saying is like, sat there for 15 years and like, you know, especially being cope. Well, yeah, it's only 1.6 whatever, but it's got some value.
It's one of the last 100 ever made.
Yeah.
Got a certificate. When they bought it from Wheatley Hall, it was on their, it was their one that they showed everybody. It was on the big turning in the middle.
All right.
It was the last one they ever sold, and I've got certificates from the last 100 off the production line. If I can find the certificate, I've got it anyway. Last 100 off the production line. So they de-chromed it all, electric windows, power steering.
It's got electric windows as well.
Yeah. It had an immobiliser on it, so when I tried to start it about 10 years ago, I had to take the immobiliser off because I couldn't find key. But it started.
But have you got all the bits and everything?
Yeah, they're all in here. But I've had it started.
Well, recently.
10 years ago.
Sunroof typical.
Yeah, that's going to be. I might have to have that took out. You reckon?
Well, cut the sunroof out. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, because it's gone in here. I think it's gone under here. Oh, look at that. I've not been under there.
Crazy. Schwarz. I like it's black. I'm guessing the wheel's not original for this, specifically this car.
No.
But
I've got the original wheels.
But actually it looks quite cool.
I like
I
them,
would
yeah.
say.
I like them. But the only damn thing about them is I put them on just before I stopped driving the car, and the wheel arches catch. You know when you go over a bump?
Yeah.
So it wants some slightly lower profile, doesn't it?
Everyone now does them 5-stud conversion, which is like pretty straightforward from compact E36.
But I like them wheels a lot.
But yeah, they look. I'm wondering, yeah, just wondering what's underneath, and that's all.
Don't know.
Well, where the spare wheel sits, that seems to be solid. So.
Well, I've had a quick look underneath, and it doesn't look. I thought it was going to be perforated. I thought the arches would be gone when I cleaned it off.
Yeah.
And they must have put a lot of paint on that last 100.
So what do you want us to do? Just basically.
I want what I'd love.
Well, ideally we need to have a look on the engine. 10 years, I mean.
Well, if it needs a new engine, it needs a new engine. But ideally, I'd like not. Because that 316 is better than 318, isn't it?
I have no clue.
It's the last engine. So it's not a carburetor engine, is it?
This will be a century project. Perfect.
Look at that. What were it?
Freed off. Now you can have a closer look underneath. Yeah.
Not bad.
Well, the suspension and subframes and stuff seems to be quite clean, I would say.
Just that back.
I mean, yeah, the back seal seems to be needs touch up. But I don't see any rust holes on the actual floor. No. I think we'll get this going, man. So, as you saw, it has a bit of a past. It's been off-road for 15 years. Last time it's been started 10 years ago. So today we're gonna do a deep wash and we'll try to start it. Basically, well, I'm thinking if it's gonna start, if everything's gonna be all right, we're gonna leave this engine. If the engine is dead, we might consider 6-spot swap from maybe 7 to 8, because the E38 got the front facing sump, and that would be probably the best sort of maybe easiest swap instead of, I don't know, any V8 or any other sort of engine. As you know, there is plenty straight 6 swaps online, so plenty of info. I personally never done it, but my mate done it, and I'm sort of know what's involved, so stay tuned for that. Let's try to start this and see where it goes. As I said, when I picked up, I parked it over there, haven't touched it since. So now, as I said, I'll give a detailed wash before I try to start it. Obviously check all the oils, fluids and all that stuff. But meanwhile, whilst I do the wash, check my latest purchase on another E30. Alright, first things first, we're gonna turn the engine by hand just to double check if it's not seized. Obviously it hasn't been started for 10 years, spark plug's been out, so I'm gonna spray a bit of oil inside the cylinders and yeah, see what's happening. The best way to take the blade off, if you don't have special tool. Oh, that surprisingly came out easily. So let's try to turn it. I said 10 years being stood. Oh, seems to be fine. And I can hear the compression. That's good, feels nice and smooth. So now we need the spark plugs, fresh fuel. I'm not gonna bother to change the oil, because as I said, if it's not gonna start or something's wrong, we're gonna put straight 6. If it's gonna start, we're gonna leave it. So either way, get your fingers crossed. I'm guessing you want to see swap instead of leaving 1.6, but it's down to customer. He said if it's wrong, let's do a straight 6 swap. If it's all right, leave the original. So we'll see anyway. So we're missing 4 spark plugs. As I said, we don't know if the engine's all right, so we're not gonna bother buy new ones. We're gonna nick the off Alpine engine. Hopefully the thread is the same, but I'm not 100% sure. So we're gonna take 4. Well, we're gonna take 1 first. We're gonna try. If everything's all right, we're gonna nick another 3 from this engine. Obviously, we're refreshing this engine anyway. And if everything's all right, we're obviously gonna change it for brand new ones. That doesn't look super good, but maybe it will work. Good news, spark plug fits, so we're gonna nick another 3 of the Alpine engine. I can feel slight, well, I wouldn't say that's the best compression. I'm not sure how much it's supposed to be, but I can feel a bit. Well, let's give it a try. So now we need a battery and we need fresh fuel. We can try to start it. Oh, we got a PlayStation CD. Tony Hawk's. Memories. So I got the fuel pump out, but I highly doubt that's in working condition. Corroded plugs, everything is falling apart in pieces. I mean, I'll test it directly, but I highly doubt. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take another fuel pump from any BMW, and basically just try directly from here to the front, because obviously you got a feed pipe and a turn pipe, so sort of gonna do that way, because just as I said, just to try to start it. Let's test it directly to the power. 2 wires. A battery. That's all you need. A moment of truth. Negative. Nope, nothing. We got nothing. So we need another fuel pump to try. Right guys, everything is set up for the first start. Obviously you've seen the fuel pump is dead, so I had to improvise. So this is what I've done. I've installed an external tank, sort of fuel pump from another car, external battery, and obviously run the pipe to the actual feed line. I already checked, it does crank, so what I'm gonna do is activate the pump and try to start it in the same time, and well, see what happens. Let's try pump first. No luck. So after several attempts, it doesn't start. So conclusion, we got spark. Obviously fuel pump is priming, but it doesn't inject the fuel. Suspecting either crankshaft sensor. Well, what I'm thinking is take the inlet manifold off, take the fuel rail out, and just double checking if it's actually squirts, but 100% it doesn't squirt the fuel. Just basically check the wires underneath the intake manifold, and yeah, see what it takes. A few moments later. So, after many hours testing, doing this and that, finally came to conclusion. I got a feeling I'll put it back, everything is gonna start. Why? because well, I didn't had no fuel. It didn't squirt any fuel out. I took the electrical layer, all the plugs, everything seemed to be fine. I put it back together, checked the ECU, strip it apart, no signs of corrosion. So what I've done, I was like, let's check the injectors. So what I've done, obviously, put a direct power to injectors and it didn't click. So I was like, and guess what? These injectors are the same as a V12, V38 injectors M73, and I had kind of spare laying around. So what I've done, I've took my spare injector, obviously direct power was clicking, and put original, which one, E30 one, it didn't click. So I couldn't believe, well, I didn't do that test in the first place because I couldn't believe all four is gone. But in this case, that was the case. All four injectors were stuck closed and literally done nothing. So what I've done, I replaced all four injectors. I had, as I said, I had spare ones in the shell. So look what's happening now. So I got my fuel priming now, and look what's happening when I'm trying to crank it. We got fuel. So we're gonna put everything back together and gonna try to start it. Okay, everything is back together and I got this feeling. Let's give it a try. Ten years. Runs all right. Just need a service and she will be good. So guys, I managed to do it. Can't believe it. I was nearly about to give up. I was like, you know, after I checked the ECU, I was like, I just had enough, you know, spending, well, literally all day, yeah. I mean, once you don't get the results, you checked everything, you seem to be sure about this and that. Is that feeling like, that's it, I just, you know, I fed up, you know, like maybe come back tomorrow. But I'm guessing if you do still basic checks, like, let's put it this way. If you are sure about if it works, but you haven't checked it, check it again. Like, this is the case. I couldn't believe like 4 injectors gone, like stuck solid, you know. I thought, I was really keen that actually ECU is wrong, but in this case it was 4 injectors gone. And yeah, basically done basic checks. Yeah, changed the injectors, voila, we got car which been off-road for 10 years, starting fine, you know, like, I'm very, very pleased with it. So you probably guys disappointed it's not going to be straight 6 swap, but we still need to check if it doesn't overheat, like coolant, everything is all right. We're going to change the oil and obviously take it for a test drive, see if everything is all right with that engine. We're going to proceed with the slight restoration. My task is to get it back on the road. That means check all the suspension, make sure the brakes, everything works for MOT. And I'm not gonna, well, maybe do a couple welding there and there, as long as it passes MOT and it's roadworthy condition, I can give it back to the customer. So we still got a couple episodes to do on this, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. Give us a thumbs up, leave the comments below, see what you think in regards to this. As I said, this is the first E30 I'm working on. It was quite challenging because you never know I know it's a basic engine, but you still, like you seen in my case, I spent all day to get it started. I managed to start it, and well, it was exciting, to be honest. And hopefully you enjoyed this video as well, as much as I did. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.